This is Cody. He's a senior catcher from Canada, and we've been training together online for the past year. He's already dropped his pop time from a 2.2 down to a 1.85, but he's not done yet. And I'm Coach Bougie, founder of Catching Made Simple. I help catchers get better with free content and online coaching. All right, Cody, how old are you? Where are you from? And what's your big goal?
I'm 17 from Canada, and my big goal is looking to play college baseball.
And behind the dish, what are you looking to get better at?
Looking to get better at throwing.
Okay, so let's go to the field, take a look, see what we got. Okay, we're gonna start with the baseline, no tweaks yet. Let's just see where he's at before we make any changes. Coming down. Yeah, attaboy. Now let's go check out the tape. So let's take a look at this, Cody. So on catch right there, start timer. You already got great turn. Heels down at 0.3. Release at 0.72. That's 2.0. Timer here, 0.28. Release at 0.69. 1.96. Really solid. You're right at that 1920 mark on all of these. Some of the benchmarks, as you know, are 0.2 to the foot getting down. And then I would love to see a release get like a 0.65. So the foot getting down a little bit quicker and not necessarily jumping up will be a good one. And then I'd also love to work on the transfer with you of getting here a little more rather than there. Of really getting that motion. And the other thing, and this might be where we bring in Bobby or Joey, but is still this, right? Where that ball is pointing backwards, that elbow is just a little high. But again, you're getting into a really strong position here. One of the things that I've been really figuring out is that sometimes if we get here, that's where we'll get that high elbow or we'll kind of tuck it back. And so if we can really get that transfer feeling great from here, I think it helps the flip a little bit more. And let's check out the side view real quick. Oh, nice, you got your hand underneath right there, which is great. And then we get there, you see that move? Yeah, so we just gotta get that flip a little bit more. Your front side, and your transfer's right at the midline, which is great. You're not too deep. Yep, so just a little high still with that arm compared to the shoulder plane, with that ball facing backwards. It causes just a little dip. So here's what we identified. The back foot getting up a little too high, so we're gonna work on getting that down really quick. Then we're gonna work on that transfer of getting the hand down up to the flip. Meanwhile, I'm handing my phone off to the pitching guys. They're gonna help with some of the arm stroke stuff. All right, let's go do it. So again, there's two things we're working on. Not letting that right foot come up, but getting it down really quick. And then two on the transfer, getting that palm up to the flip. The secret to this is nothing special. It's just doing the basics really well. So go right here. We're gonna start right here and let's just get your right foot there. Good, bring it back. Good, bring it back, good. Now let's turn this knee and this shoulder a little bit. Good, yep, very nice. Turn it, come up to a pitcher's pose. Here, here. And back down. Now when we get up to that pitcher's pose, go ahead, go again. Get that knee back a little bit. Yeah, there you go. And up, good. Okay, now let's go right through to a right left. Okay, don't worry too much about your hands. We're just trying to stay real low as we go. Think about that left knee again as like that gas pedal for the infielder. Yeah, beautiful. So right here, ready, go. Good, on my cue, see if you can beat my feet. Ready, go. One more time, ready, go. So now, next thing, I want us to go right knee down. Now we're gonna press through that knee and go, boom, right up. Good. Now again, the thing we're trying to avoid is up, down. So when we go, that's just getting right underneath our shoulder and going. Good, very nice. Good. Okay, now I'm gonna throw it. We're gonna go through that same progression. Just right foot, just get that thing down. Same time. Be on time, very good. There it is. It's almost like the sharpness is not even in your feet, it's here. Really anticipating that pitch because your body can do it. It's just a matter of whether your brain is like ready to go, right? So get it on time, be aggressive with it. Good. Okay, now let's go right, left. And again, boom, don't lift that thing up. That's beautiful. Let's go secondary. Dude, that's sharp right there. Good, that looks already a lot sharper. We're gonna leave it there and we're gonna work on our transfers now and then we'll come back and put it all together. Let's just catch back to start. Good. Good. Okay, now catch and turn. Beautiful. Okay, now let's go really slow. Let's go ball and glove. So we catch, we turn. I think this works best. So we're gonna essentially dump down and then here. The thing that we gotta be careful of is your tendency is getting back this way. Sometimes this can even accentuate that a little bit, but I really want us to get from here to there, hand on top, and then flips. And so the thing that we really got to be careful of is this. And so when we get here, don't think too much wrist, just think more elbow, and it should get right there, and then we'll flip it up. But let's start by just getting here, feel the transfer, boom, boom. Then we'll get here, and then we'll flip it up there, okay? Good. And then if we get that low pitch, we get here, it's just same thing, yep. Okay, now pull back to that 2, fingers on top. So think elbow, don't think wrist. You're still getting just a little here. The way that we correct it, right? We overcorrect it. So you gotta think here, almost facing you, and then it'll relax right to there. That's it. We've gotten to 2. I want us to pause at 2 now and then flip to 3. Okay, again, the big thing we're trying to avoid is this. So make sure we're set, check it, and then we'll flip it. So pause to 2, then flip. Make sure when you flip that that arm is all the way behind. That's it. Yeah, good. Very nice. Now all the way to 3, boom. Your tendency is to get up, trying to keep that thing down. We're really trying to flip it, feel it flip and get square. Go ahead and do that again. I don't know if you can feel it, but you went, yeah, you went like up high, like normal, and then you got it back down. And so even just do this right now a few times without the ball, but just get from here to here. Just feel that, yep. Make sure when we transfer that, palm is up. Get that right, yeah. Good. Okay, here we go. That's great, Cody. So now we're gonna go here, boom. It's the same arm path, but now we're just feeling how, like in our actual throw, our midline is gonna shift forward a little bit. Palm up, boom. So we're just getting here, just trying to get our hips basically from our knee to our foot so that we can feel that center line move forward. Good. Yeah, great correction right there. Get that ball facing straight sideways. That was beautiful. Good, okay, from secondary to a freeze at 3. Good. So now we're putting it together, right? Now we got the quick feet and we got the transfer all coming together. Okay, now throw it back to me. Good. Really drive that left knee, get that foot down. Good. Beautiful. This is at the beginning. Boom. Heel down at 0.25. It's already 0.5 of a second. Release. Now at 0.64. That's already, what, 0.0720 right there. Here, 0.23, 0.64 right there, dude. That's huge. Ball's caught there. 195, right? And as we look at this, we can see you're still just a little forward, right? And you do a great job on catch here, but if you could let that travel just a tiny bit more. But again, 0.2, that's your quickest on your foot getting down. 0.63 out of the hand. That's great. All goes in the glove, 0.86, right? So you can see that's without changing even much of your arm stuff. We still see your elbow just a little high, fingers just a little back. So Bobby and Joey will help with that. But if you can just clean up the feet in the transfer, you can immediately gain so much. Ball and glove right there. 185, 186. From a 2.0 to a 185, that's a big difference. You know what I mean? So this looks really good. Anything big that you noticed or felt?
My feet felt a lot stronger when I would get them down quicker, when I just get it straight into the ground instead of jumping.
Yeah.
Like I had a lot more force into my throw.
Do you feel like there were any cues that were helpful?
More just trying to get it down right as I'm catching the ball.
Yeah. Anything else?
Flipping with the arm instead of getting around the ball like this, trying to almost overcompensate for it to get it up. It really helped fix it.
Yeah, that's something that I've learned that is true in everything, right? If you're hitting and you're missing under the ball, like try to miss over the ball, then you find the middle, right? And it's like, so if we're getting here, try to get here, and then your body will probably find the middle. Because if you try to get middle, it will still leak back. So I think that that's really good. I'm curious to see what they see in your arms, your legs, in the actual throwing mechanics side. So let's go take a look with them and see what they got. Okay, so I'm pretty good at transfers and footwork, but I'm not that great at arm path. Everything that I've learned has been from these two guys. This is Bobby O'Neill and this is Joey Levitt. They both are pitching coaches and throwing coaches and have their own program. So if you want help, they are great resources. All that being said, let's look at the tape and let's see the thing that Bobby picked out and Joey picked out. Then we'll go do some drills to help Cody fix it. Bobby, you first. What's the big thing that you're seeing here?
Yeah, so everything that we're trying to do in terms of arm path is really just time up with the body so that the body becomes a human whip to take the arm through the zone so that the tip of the whip accelerates at the end. So when we are loading up into the back of the arm, so when we're expanding the chest or pulling back the scap, you want to make sure that you're getting to your furthest point back into scap retraction or hip chest expansion as you are unwinding your hip rotation. So not necessarily your pelvis, but more of like the back foot rotating at the end down here. You want to see it turn down and over the same way we're trying to get the knee to turn over. So what's going on here is because he's early with his scap, so he's fully loaded into his scap and he hasn't turned the knee fully down yet. Essentially what's happening is the pelvis is taking over and it's pulling the back hip this direction right here. So he's pulling his back foot out of position before it ever has a chance to fully turn over. So with this back foot, you want to see it fully square up to where his heel is kind of aiming towards the sky as he is getting into his deepest position of the chest and pec. So there's a correlation between scap retraction and turning that back foot over.
Joey, what do you see?
If you keep it right there, this exact spot, his knee is getting pretty bent here. So you can obviously land bent. Same with a pitcher, you can land bent. In fact, you should to be athletic. But then very quickly afterwards, you gotta get the front leg straight so that you're blocking your forward momentum and redirecting your power up through the body and out the arm. So what I'm seeing is kind of at the end of the throw, as he's striding forward, just going a little too far into the front side. You can even see his torso. If you draw a line straight through the torso, it seems like this is more on the front side instead of maintaining his power a little bit longer in the backside. And I think that could time up some things that Bobby was talking about, getting the sequence correct. But simply just trying to get his front leg straight earlier might be a huge help in timing the rest of the things up. This is bent here, it's able to leak power forward. Bobby and I talked earlier about how at this point here, his knee has to flip this direction before it gets straight to be able to lock in there. So he's still trying to get in place.
Yeah, so if people are landing with this front knee closed, how do you get them to fix that?
Yeah, there's a couple different drills you can do, but you want to be thinking about kind of landing a little more flat-footed if you're landing on the inside part of your foot down here.
Yeah, that's totally where that pressure is there.
Yeah, because basically
You get a little
your
more
knee
flat.
is
That
lining
makes
up
sense.
with the bottom of your foot. So if you're landing here, your knee's going to be located, but then as you start leveraging, you're going to get your entire foot on the ground, and that's going to pull the knee that direction.
Yeah.
So getting more of a flat foot landing, I think,
Rather
kind of
than
helps.
there.
Yeah, because everyone's
Totally.
so focused on staying closed with their pelvis that it typically closes off that front leg too much, and then that leads to that front knee having to leak, and then your torso's unwinding against an unstable surface. A lot of high-level stuff, but I think we got some simple fixes.
Yeah,
I think to summarize all that, take the details and make it simple. For one piece of the chain to accelerate, the previous piece needs to decelerate. For example, this needs to stop before this can accelerate over top. So with this being so bent, he's able to just leak power forward. The back legs coming forward. There's so much stuff happening here while he's supposed to be whipping his arm forward.
it should be stable.
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's go out to the field and let's go do the drills. So we're gonna do 3 throwing drills. 1, syncing up the chest expansion with the rotation of our hip. 2nd, we're gonna work on firming up our front leg. And 3rd, improving our extension against that firm front leg. For the first drill, Bobby's teaching us how to use a wall to sync up all our throws. So take it away, my friend.
All right, Cody, so what I was seeing is we are getting your scap loaded prematurely. So you're up here at your furthest distance, and then you have wiggle room while you're waiting for your hip to rotate. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to feel the rhythm between your upper half loading up one end of the rubber band while your lower half loads up the other end. All right, so using a wall, a stationary object, you can use a fence, you can use anything. What we're trying to do is we're trying to feel that number 2 position where your elbow and your shoulder are up at shoulder height and they're in sync, and you can use your wrist as kind of a reference to make sure you're level here. So on your front side, you just want to first check to make sure you're in a good position here, and you can open up your front foot and kind of stand relatively close to the wall here. So once you have this side established, then we're trying to mirror that image on this side. In this position, this is the number 2 position, and then when we rotate, that's the number 3 position. But what we're gonna feel is we're gonna try and feel a stretch between where your scap is loading. So we want to feel really stretched on your upper body, but we also want to feel like your hips are starting to square up parallel to the wall, and you can feel your back heel kind of getting a little more straight up and down parallel to the wall as well. So once we're in that position, you should feel a ton of stretch in your chest and in your scap. A lot of people who do this one mess up by dipping or by trying to open too much. So make sure you're staying level, and then we want to feel the rotation and we want to feel your arm flipping. So one thing I do when I'm doing this drill is I try to feel the rhythm of all of that happening at the same time. If that is too much to move through at the same time where you're flowing here, you can literally just start in this position and then just land and flip. Cool, so you're feeling a little bit of a stretch, landing and flipping so that our arm is up at foot strike. So we got 4 progressions. The first progression, you're just squaring up your hips, making sure your chest is tall, making sure your elbows are at shoulder height, and then you sink in with the hips and step up to the wall. And then we're just going first hip movement. This one's not full hips, you're just feeling the lower half tightening the slack. From there, the second progression, you're going here and flipping. Then you're doing it at the same time for the third progression. And then the last one, you're stepping and holding. We slowly decelerated back to the beginning. What that does for you is it helps you not just get the bounce where everything's wobbling all over the place. It forces you to hold that position and then slowly come out of it to train your body how strong you have to be while you're moving through that pattern. So step up to the wall a little bit more. Also make sure that your quad is also getting parallel to the wall here. So pause for a second. Do you feel anything in your scap here?
A little, not much.
Okay, step up to the wall a little bit more. Now go. You feel more?
Yeah.
Good. Now flip. Do you feel more here? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you have a ton of range of motion back here. You can get deep. Shohei Ohtani can like touch his elbows behind his back here. You don't have as much as Ohtani. Yeah, he's super hypermobile. But you do have a lot of range back here. If you're sitting in this neutral spot here, you're floating around, dude. You can do anything. But if you get tied up against here, you see how this angle, if I was looking at you from overhead, it kind of has like a U shape. You have the luxury of getting deep into here, which means you have really long rubber bands. You're not like tight and stuck. You have a lot of range. Use that range to your advantage when you're flipping.
So that's okay.
This is fine, yeah, for him.
As long as he has the mobility and that shoulder isn't like rolling up, out. And
Correct. Yeah, so as long as we're securing the shoulder plane with your shoulders and your elbows, and you're not hiking up this way and you're not hiking up this way, you want to get max scapular retraction, yeah. If you look at Jacob deGrom, he gets all the way back here. And then if you think about your arm flip, this looks like you're further back than other people, but that's just because you're more stretched out. So this is not bad and this is not right for him. He needs more here. Yeah, just because you have so much more range to work with, I think that would be super helpful for you. So give that a shot. Check your glove side. There you go. Pause, you're cheating again. Get that front leg closer to the wall. Now take that knee down the wall. Try to do that while securing this leg. So step out just a little bit more. Hold, don't move.
Wow. That looks
Feel everything stable here. Good.
Yeah, it feels a lot tighter in my scap more.
So you feel like you're getting a little more under control here?
Yeah.
Good. So if you notice, you're still attached to the wall. It's not like you're back here.
Yeah.
You're getting that sensation because this is driving away from this. So you're not having to do a ton, but because this is driving in opposition to where you're at, you really only need a little bit of give here. So when you do something aggressive, it takes away from this. That looks like you can throw a 1-6-7. Imagine. Hold, 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 and then slowly go back to neutral. Go again. Try not to let your torso rotate. Just your flip and your hip. Go again, fast, explode, hold. Hold, hold, hold. Feel like you're controlling this. Control it, stabilize it. Now slowly get back to neutral.
Wow, dude. That's an immediate
fixed.
Now pause, go back to that spot. Now where does the torso want to go?
This way.
Yeah, it wants to rotate and square up here. The only thing hindering you, and the only reason the wall is not perfect, is because it doesn't let you square up at the end. So, but this trains that segment of your flow, right? So if you take that into catch play, you're envisioning the wall until that 3 position, and then the wall disappears, square up, you let it eat. Awesome, man. That's gonna be a ton of help for you.
So the second drill is helping us firm up the front side so that we can throw harder.
Okay, we're starting out by taking a simple swing, but stopping at contact. Cody's a lefty, so he's gonna be doing it with his other leg, but the concept still holds up. As you take a swing and stop at contact, go ahead. Your front knee's kind of getting straighter, right? As you rotate. Are you thinking about slamming your knee back when you do that? No, it's getting straight automatically because as you rotate your hips, it's going away from your front foot, and that naturally straightens that front leg out. Same thing when you're throwing, whether you're a pitcher, whether you're a catcher, as you get your stride here and plant and firm it up, when you rotate, the leg should get straight. What it seems like you're doing is just getting down, which is good. You're getting in a more loaded athletic position. It's just too far into that front leg. So at this point, you're kind of collapsing here with the elbow, bringing the back leg up and maybe pushing the ball a little bit. If you can simply turn this into that, you're in a little bit taller position, but not so tall where we're just standing up and falling and throwing the ball way up here. Still getting down in that back leg, but blocking with the front side, kind of like Bobby was saying, and being able to transfer that energy up through your body and out your arm. So the drill is just simply doing it slowly so that we can do it correctly. So as you're coming up here, instead of getting here like you're used to, love the down position, loaded in the legs, getting maybe a little bit taller with your torso, still loaded in my backside. So this is loaded. We talked about coiling, not needing to get all the way over here, but as you're switching to that stance to throw down, we're already turning the hips a bit. Now we can unwind them the other way. And that's the thing that we're focusing on, is the unwind by rotating the hips and naturally getting that straight. So simply starting here, boom, and rotating a bit taller.
Let's go. Boom. I think sit, get a little taller, because the thing is we're getting too low, right? And so it's actually like just lifting those hips up a little bit and feeling that chest a little taller, correct? Mm-hmm. Here. Yeah, maybe over-exaggerate it just a little. Oh.
Yeah. Okay, now this position is good, but how you move through that position is also really important. So instead of pausing there, let's go slow motion at first, but rotate through the finish.
Okay. So here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so then trying to feel that hip get.
Try this for a second. Get to this position that you normally get into, really sunken down in your hips. Can you get all the way rotated and get to your finish with that bent front knee? Kind of, because you pushed out with your backside. But if you get, instead of here, if you get here, now can you more easily rotate to the finish?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so much more easy. So I would start in this position. You already switched your feet. Now it's just rotating. Take that practice swing real quick and pause right there. Boom. Yeah, same feeling there. Right here, we're not opening up the hip all the way when we swing, but we are when we throw, so that's the difference. But it's rotate the block and then finish with the arm. Yeah, just like that. Mm-hmm. Sweet. Now see if you can get through with your hips by bringing your back foot around. Yes. Yeah, when you're firm with the front side, that's slamming on the brakes to the whole system, and then it just allows your arm to accelerate. So the faster we can decelerate with the body, faster we can accelerate with the arm. I think you're doing that so much better with that straight front leg.
One more thing I'd like you to try based off what I heard him say earlier. Get to this position, and I really want you to feel your weight on the whole of the foot and not on the inside. Every once in a while, it still looks to me like this knee is in, and if you can get that a little bit more there, I think it's gonna allow you to press it a little more.
I think a key for you to know if you're doing it correctly is if you're able to follow through with your hips. Because if you get here and you're still bent, you're lost in, am I rotating, am I blocking, what am I doing? But if you get that block through rotation, boom, the finish just happened so much more naturally, like those last couple.
Anything specific that was interesting that you felt from this?
I think like the feel of it on the middle of my foot, even like help feeling with my back leg, like my leg whip around.
Yeah.
Like instead of going like that, staying. And
Yeah.
just going.
Well, because if you're like this, right, and you're on the inside, you can't press down here, and it has to get out, and then a lot of times it goes too far. And so if you can get it firm on landing, then all that force just goes right into your hip, which goes up into the trunk, into the arm.
So basically all we're trying to feel is the stability in the front hip while we're getting extended. So it's a little partner drill that you can do where you have your catcher hold onto a ball here and get into a split stance position where the back foot is already turned down and the hips are squared up and the chest is squared up, and then you're just starting here. And all we're doing is we're having the partner stand out in front, and he's gonna pull the body forward eccentrically, so slowly moving forward, and then you're gonna have him release and come back to where he can feel his torso getting extended and coming back with that stopped front side that Joey was talking about, where the legs are locked into place and we can feel the torso following through. It's like an RDL stretch through the hamstring, but we're releasing through all of the posterior chain. So like your lower back, mid back, upper back, and then full follow through. So really we're trying to get the sensation of unwinding everything against a stable front side. Perfect. So start in a stable position, and you can actually just kind of go through your throwing motion really quick and take a step and get into a comfortable position. Do that one more time, but try to feel like you're holding your front knee in place. So hold that position, good. From this position, I want you to feel like you're holding your hip in place, and I'm gonna force you to go this way, allow it to happen, but just resist me. So move, move, move. You feel how I'm pulling you and beating you this way? You wanna recruit your left glute to pull away from me while we get extended. There you go, much better. So go back to your upper torso position and hold tension there with your hip, and let me beat you, but do it slowly and controlled. Go again, good, now go back. I'm not killing your arm, I'm not ripping it out of socket. It's just controlling that motion. Do you feel your legs kind of replacing one another a little bit? That's forcing your back hip to clear a little bit better. Can you feel your back hip wanting to like get into a hip extension? Good, so drive your right glute towards me then, against a stable front leg. Now I'm beating you. We wanna get that right glute through, but pull your left glute back. You feel that? That's more. All right, do one more. Try and feel a little bit more under control. Ready, go. Yep, if you lock out too much, I'm gonna beat you. So don't, just hold your hip in place. Don't think lock out, think hold in place. There it is, that was better. Go again, one more time, and go. All right, hold that position. Now follow through with your arm, but hold that lower half. Go, follow through. That's what you should be feeling. You should be feeling stable when you follow through. You see how I'm easily beating you? You need to think like pull your heel into the ground and activate your left glute. Because if you think straighten out, you're still gonna leak forward. There it is, that's way more stable. Yeah, now do that again without your back legs scooting out. That was better. Now go back to stand up. Stand up with your torso, good. Now come back towards me. Good, go through that motion 3 times. Hold the legs in place, legs are stopped. We're extending against your front leg. There it is, 2 more. Don't give in at the end. Hold your hamstring strength. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Oh, that was close. Pull away from me, there you go. That was it right there. Now look up at your target, all the way up at your target, hold this position and follow through. Ready, set, go. That's the over-exaggerated version of your follow through, but if you can stabilize your legs, you're gonna get way more powerful. You can be more upright, but you gotta get extended against your front side.
Get that foot down on time. That's it. Oh! All right, Cody, let's take a look at this. First throw was decent. We went back to a 0.3, which that's totally normal, right? Whenever you focus on, you're gonna improve that. Then when you shift your focus to the arm path or something else, it's gonna go back a little bit, and that's just okay. Release, right back at 7.3. This one, a little bit of a jump, but still down at 0.2. Wow, look at the stretch, dude. That is so much better. Your hand is still back a little bit, but look at your elbow. It looks so much better. And release at 0.66 to the bag, 195. Pull it down at 0.25. Still a little high, right? You can see it jump still just a little bit. Your pull already looks so much better. Release at 0.62. Dude, That's a full 1/10 of a second in a much stronger arm path at a 1.9. If you get that there in the air, you might even touch 1.8 right there. 2.6, 1.62 release again to the glove at 1.88. That's solid, dude.
And it felt like a more powerful 188 than from the one before.
Yeah, Bobby clocked that at a 1.88 on his phone too. That's impressive. Dude, phenomenal job on that. Cody, great job. Give me your biggest takeaways and then we'll talk about what next steps are.
For me, the biggest takeaway was my feet, getting that foot down on time while I'm starting to catch the ball. And then with the throwing, just trying to sync up more my leg and my arm.
And already, I mean, you could see on the video, your arm was then here rather than way up there. So immediate progress. Any other big takeaways or feels that really helped you today?
The feeling with the third drill we did when we were bending and fighting against Bobby to get the strength into my legs, that was probably the biggest one.
Okay, and what was the feel that really helped you unlock it?
Like feeling the tightness in my hamstrings, hips, and glutes the most.
Yeah. Next steps is obviously keep doing this at home, right? Because if you do it once, you'll get better. But if you never do it again, then you probably won't get that much better. So keep practicing this at home. Any one of you guys watching, hopefully you guys can all do these drills at home as well. If you want help, then reach out to me or Bobby or Joey. We can review your videos similar to how we did in this video. So thanks, Cody, for coming out. Great job. And if you like this video, then you'll love the video that we did with Jackson. Or if you just want help, you want to learn more about how I can help you, look at this video right over here. I'm Coach Bougie. I'll catch you later.